Hi there, Dan at danliberto.com, where we help small business owners and families improve their influence and reach their greater potential. And the fact that you are watching this video right now tells me that you are a concerned dad and you want more for your children. And maybe you're one of those dads that right now you move heaven and earth to help your children grow and have more and experience more. Or maybe you're a disengaged dad and you want to get re-engaged and you just don't know how. Well, either way, it doesn't matter. What I will tell you is the Dad Zone is where iron sharpens iron. See, life can be brutal on us adults. So just think how much more brutal it is for our kids, especially when they're not prepared for life, when they're not equipped for those things that they need to be equipped for, where they're not strengthened in the proper areas. See, life will never, ever be easy. However, it can be easier with the proper presentation and proper preparation and with the proper tools. See, if we equip our children, we can actually make life easier. Certainly not easy, but easier. But see, there's the thing. It all comes from you and it all comes from me. What we do, how we prepare our children for life is up to us. And we as dads have the most influence. So how would it benefit your family to have more influence with your children? What would that do for the household, for the unity, for the strife, for the organization, for the agreement, everybody getting along, the conversations? What would that look like if you had more influence with your children? And you know, dads, as a dad, you and I, we are the best candidates for raising strong children. And strong children or children grow and become strong with the influence of growing and strong parents, growing and strong dads. See, children do much better in life when they are equipped. So, to improve your influence with your children, this is what I want you to do. I want you to use the button below and I want you to register for my totally free webinar where we're going to talk about how you can increase your influence with your children. And that webinar is going to be June 20th, which is a Wednesday, and we're going to start at 8 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be very, very intentional about the time we spend on there. So we're just going to focus on the areas about improving influence. See, if you take the time to grow yourself and improve influence with your children, that is a blessing that is going to last a lifetime because it's going to give you deep, deep relationships, trusting relationships. I posted on social media the other day, there was a grandmother that was having lunch with her grandchild. And she said, you know, this is great. I need to have lunch with my grandchildren now while they're willing to have lunch with me. Well, that's the misnomer. The reality of it is your children are always going to want to have lunch with you. They may not want to admit it in front of their friends, but they're always going to want to have lunch with you. And so the important thing is while they're young, start that influence so when they get older and they absolutely need your help, when they absolutely need your influence and in the feel of the strength of your character and your actions, you're there to help them. You're equipping them so you don't do life for them, but you prepare them to go do life for themselves. So here's the other aspect of that is that we as dads, sometimes we feel like an island. We're kind of out there alone. We have disagreements with the way maybe our spouse or our neighbor or teacher, you know, maybe the way they would want to handle children. And so we as dads, we just need a place to bounce things off with other dads, people that think the same way that we do, that address things the same way that we do. So how beneficial would something like that be? An area where you could come to a dad cave, where you could come in and meet with other dads and have iron sharpen iron. So this is what I want you to do, because if that's you and you want to improve influence with your children and you're open to the idea of a dad cave where you can come in and many dads come together and you grow your experiences and your influence with the perspective of other dads, a mastermind of sorts. If you're open to that, then again, I want you to do three things. First thing I want you to do is push the button down below. that says register now for the free webinar where we're going to talk about improving your influence with children. Second thing I want you to do is I want you to write on your calendar, June 20th, I want you to make a note at 8 p.m. Central Time. I want you to make a note that you're going to join Dan Liberto and other concerned dads about improving your influence. The third thing I want you to do is I want you to take a moment and I want you to write down one thing. One thing, if you had a dad to talk to about it, or if you were sitting across from other dads that you were familiar with, and you just wanted to get some information, what is that one thing that you would like to ask other dads about raising kids? I want you to write that down, and I want you to post that to this post right here. So those are your three things. That's what I'd like you to do. Get on them right now. Again, my name is Dan at danliberto.com, and I'm looking forward to spending time with you June 20th at our free webinar, and we're going to talk about improving your influence and improving my influence over our children for a greater future. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to having you on the webinar. Dan at danliberto.com. Bye now.